Go.
Good morning, everybody. Gosh, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Do you know that tomorrow we will likely have something in common with a teddy bear? Tara, what are you going to have in common with a teddy bear tomorrow?
A fat belly.
You're going to be full of stuffing.
I love it.
At least we hope you are.
Stuffing or dressing? That is the question.
I know, right? One's in the bird, one's out, right? Isn't that the deal?
I think dressing is made with cornbread and stuffing is made with breadcrumbs.
Fun, I didn't know that.
Because I'm stuffed, but you think about stovetop stuffing, it's still called stuffing. It's not stuffed.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday on the Daily Huddle, where Tara and I talk about relationships and communication. We have a cozy group here today, and I am excited. We are feeling all the feels today with the week of Thanksgiving. And as usual, before we dive in, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. I want to start with our wonderful support, Lizette. Lizette, we don't often ask you questions, but can you tell us what time it is?
Thank you. Good morning. The time is now. The only time we have.
That's right. And Lizette is not even near us or in this country, and she still knows the time is now. So that's great. Thank you, Lizette. And let's see. Oh, Tom just jumped in. So guess what, Tom? You get a question too. I would like to know, what time is it? And who are you going to hug today? Oh, wait, I just asked Lizette what time it is, and she told us. That's confusing. It's going to be the same. So I want to know, where are you and who you're going to hug today?
Well, Kathryn, I appreciate getting called out so directly. So I am right here where I need to be, and I'm going to hug my mom coming in town today.
Yay. Give her a hug for me. I love your mom. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thanks. And I see that Chase just joined too. I would love to ask Chase. I would love to know, what are you grateful for? Because it's Thanksgiving and we're going to be doing that today.
Grand Rising. I am grateful for my grandmother.
Thank you, Chase.
You're welcome.
Tara, one last question. I want to hear from you. How are you?
Oh, I am the way I say I am. And today I am grounded.
Great.
Rare for me.
Well, I'll pull a little off of that. So we're going to dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about the day before Thanksgiving. How do you express gratitude? And Tara, I don't know about you, but I thought this would sort of be, quote, an easy one. You know, we have pretty similar thoughts on it, have conversation and, la, la, la. Well, we started having a conversation about it. Turns out we actually don't have exactly the same feels about this. So it might be a juicy conversation.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. I know. I thought we would be right aligned with this mentality, and it turns out we're not. So this is going to be fun. We thought that we would talk about gratitude and how we express gratitude, obviously in light of the season in America. But many of us, especially people that seem to be self-aware, which are a lot of people that come on the Daily Huddle, many of us have a daily gratitude practice. And it may be journaling, it may be expressing what we're grateful for to God or to the universe or to the source or to the light, or however you may express your gratitude. But what we're talking about today is how we express our gratitude to others. And this is where some of my talk to the brain science comes in. So I thought it might be fun, rather than just babbling on, to express my gratitude in such a way to some of you that causes serotonin to fire up in the brain. And so I want to express gratitude, and I want to model what I am recommending today. And the best way to do that is to start with what I'm not recommending. And what I'm not recommending as a practice for expressing gratitude is to use words that don't have a lot of meaning and they're very generalized. So we tend to say each day at some point, thank you to all the Daily Huddle family. And that's heartfelt. But what if we actually took the time to say thank you with something very specific and unique to the people in our lives for whom we're grateful, which are a lot. And that's a big ask. But what if we started to build that habit? So rather than saying to Kathryn, you're a great friend, I appreciate you so much, and I love you, which I say to her quite often, what if every once in a while I took the time to say, Kathryn, I want you to know what you have contributed to my life. You, like nobody else I know, have shown me the power of being in the moment, present and mindful. I've read about it, but I've witnessed it better from you than anyone else. And I could go on for the whole show, but a few more things. And I've mentioned this to you before, but I don't know anyone who has the ability to communicate like you do with this perfect balance of love and wisdom. You never blow smoke. You always challenge me with this loving way, bringing some kind of wisdom as if this is your fourth trip around this earth. So for your presence in my life, I'm really grateful, Kathryn. You're welcome. So I want to do this with a few more of you just to really model it. And then I'm going to turn it over to Kathryn. We're going to see what else might be going on besides serotonin. Sorrel, me, the wordsmith, I struggle to find words for you. Because even just the sight of you popping on the Daily Huddle gives me this sense of energy and light that I have come to so much treasure. I think I've seen you in person 5, 6 times. And y'all, if you have never had a Sorrel Heaton hug, you are missing something in this life. He hugs in such a way that I'm trying to model now with so much giving and so much meaning. It's not one of those little pats. So I appreciate the light that you bring to my life, and I appreciate the example that you set for me. So many times you're in my head when I get mad at somebody because you have this really beautiful way of being genuinely compassionate and non-judgmental more than most people that I've ever known. And that is a practice. So I want to thank you for the light that you give to me, the energy, and for modeling how to be compassionate and understanding and not make judgments. You're most welcome. I'm going to do 2 more. I'll try to make them a little shorter because I could go on and on and on, because for me, this is my comfort zone. And sometimes I hold back with this because my husband doesn't love it, but it is who I am. So Chase, I am so glad you're on here today, because from the day that I met you, I thought this dude is special. And you have a very unique ability to always see the positive in things, the light, the opportunity, the gift, and it never disappoints. No matter what we talk about, if you come on the line and chime in, you'll have a slightly different perspective, but it is unfailingly positive. And that is a great reminder. And I'm so grateful that you have made the Daily Huddle a practice, not just on Tuesdays, but you show up a lot. And I know what a commitment that is. And I really treasure it.
I appreciate you fully. Your light is unmistakable. Can't get away from it. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to make these short because I just actually have to do 2 more. So Lizette, you are such an angel. Talk about loyalty. Talk about someone we can depend on. You are always here. And what y'all don't know is every once in a while, out of nowhere, Lizette will send a little note through WhatsApp telling us how much being in the Daily Huddle has meant to her. And if what we're doing here every weekday morning doesn't affect people in a positive way, then we ought not to be here. And those little notes are such a treasure. So thank you, Lizette.
Oh, thank you.
You're so welcome. And I am going to do one more, and this is to Tom Montgomery. Some people have a unique talent in life, and I would give anything, not anything, but I'd give a lot to have the talent that you have. And it is this really uncanny, unique ability to keep that stoic Marine face and be so flipping funny. And the ability to make people laugh in the light of what we're facing today is an absolute treasure. And every time you come on here, I know that I'm going to leave having laughed. And so I want to thank you for your friendship and for laughter.
Oh, thank you, Tara. Hey, at some point, could you share your positivity with your co-host? It'd be good for her to know that.
Oh yes, he is a treasure. There's no doubt, Kathryn. As y'all can tell, this is my world. Like I could go on, I could go to Mary and Florence and Virtue, and I want to have a chance to do that. But expressing gratitude in this very unique way is my comfort zone. So how about you, Kathryn?
Well, it is not my comfort zone. When it was like, hey, this is, I think, what we should do today, and bum, 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 wrap it up and go home. And I was like, okay. I think I said, actually, oh, girl, I'm going to go vulnerable today. And you were like, huh? That's not vulnerable. And for me, it really is. Not so, to receive it just requires me to be present. And I can do that. So it's not even so much you saying something that personal to me. It's me expressing it to others that feels more vulnerable, especially with an audience, I mean, I could more likely do it one-on-one. And it made me curious so I do want to talk about that, but I first want to talk about how you feel when you express gratitude, because I'm watching you light up and light up more and light up more and light up more. And I'm feeling it too, as I'm listening. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I love that about Sorrel and Lizette. And yes, Tom too. And Chase. And it's like, what does that do in us? Is that serotonin that we're feeling too, that you're feeling as you're expressing the gratitude? Because I think it's good to know that.
I believe it is a combination of serotonin, a little bit of dopamine, because there's this anticipation, like, oh, what's she going to say? And also oxytocin, because if it is taken as sincere, and that being sincere is so deeply important to me, because unlike Sorrel, I just don't like fake stuff. I just can't stand it. I'm not saying you like it, Sorrel, but you have a patience for it that I'm still trying to build. So if it is believable, then that also builds up something called oxytocin, which is really much more sustainable than serotonin. I mean, it can carry us through. It can grow our confidence, help us to feel bonded and trusting.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I think that would be one of the things that I would struggle with, is to feel sincere, because it's so outside of my comfort zone to give compliments like you just did, that I would feel insincere. And then in my mind, I would be like, ooh, that, you just love it and it's your wheelhouse. And I would be like questioning myself. But I do feel that way, but did it come across that way? Because it's outside of my comfort zone. So I just thought it was really interesting that expressing gratitude could look so different, when to you it sounded like this is the way it is. Like this is just how we do it. And it's like, actually, no, that would feel really awkward to me. And so I think what would benefit folks is like talking about, how do you do it for you? Because if you are doing it in a way that somebody told you to do it and you come across insincere, then actually those chemicals aren't going to be coursing through anyone's body. In fact, you probably remember it. Those are the things that just, oh, that was nice, and you keep on moving.
So I guess I'm not totally getting your question. How do I do it for me? How do I do
how do people, with talking about how other people do it for themselves, like talking about the differences of how we express gratitude, like what might be important. Like I love writing notes. I love writing letters. I don't have to be face-to-face with somebody. I don't mind doing it face-to-face with someone, but I'd probably do it in an intimate setting, because this feels intimate to me, expressing gratitude that way. Does it to you, or you feel like it's, because again, you're so different on this?
we are completely different, because you said something that I'm the opposite, and I can share my journey and a little bit about why I think that I'm this way. But I think what I'm hoping is that it's not just about you and me, it's about anyone who listens to kind of assess how they receive and how they give.
Yeah,
So you said for you to receive a compliment, a very sincere expression of gratitude, as long as you're present, you're comfortable with that. That's the hard part for me. Like if somebody else would have said some of that to me, and I don't know why that is, but I'm much more comfortable expressing it than receiving it.
That's really funny, because it's not funny. I totally know that about you, because one of the jokes that we have between us is your famous line, "Okay, enough about me. What about you?"
Yeah, I partly that is the way I was raised. Probably my mom was like that almost to a fault. Like she just dove in to everyone else, asking questions, listening, getting to know them, putting herself on the back burner. And that's not a relationship. And we're getting a little off course here, but it isn't. If I used to think in sales that if I just asked enough questions and learned to care about someone enough, I would win a sale. And I learned that that wasn't a relationship, not until I shared some about myself. So I wanted to, I'm not good at reading and talking at the same time, but I do want to say that the fact that you write notes to express gratitude, I'm not recommending that people do something that's uncomfortable unless they feel inspired to do it, like, that whole step out of your comfort zone space. But if it feels extremely awkward, what I'm recommending is to find a way to express gratitude. We all do it differently. My husband is much less words, much more action. I mean, he just identifies little needs of mine all the time and does these little favors and buys these little gifts and builds these little conveniences. And that's how he expresses his gratitude and love for me. So as long as we're doing it, I think it's important that we find a way to do it. I've learned that through my life, it was the darkest of times that showed me that that's an energy too. And the only way that I can come through heartache is to really repurpose that energy into a fuel. And for me, fuel and being my best self is expressing my love and gratitude for other people. It's just, it's my comfort zone, but it's not everybody's.
Well, I think what I'm taking away from it is not so much do this to express gratitude, but more express gratitude for all of the things that it does to us, however you choose to do that. And for me, I forget to. We get busy, and, there days may go by where really kind things have been done for me, to me, and I haven't expressed gratitude, or just to the people who are closest to me. And so I think it's a reminder that it's not just one day a year where, we're really thankful, but to build it into our lives like a practice. One, because of all the good, juicy stuff it does for us. Two, for all the good, juicy stuff it does for others. But I think it does build our brain capacity to start to get more present in the moment, notice what's around us and what we are grateful for. Because in any given moment, no matter how bad things are, no matter what chaos is around, even heartache, there is always something to be grateful for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I also want to mention that just because I modeled something a little bit more lengthy and verbose, there are some tips that I think would be helpful to people who maybe think, wow, I'd like to express more specific gratitude to people, but I'm not doing what Tara just did. There's little tips, like instead of just saying thank you or thank you, Sorrel, if you flip that around and say, Sorrel, thank you. Can you feel the difference in the impact of just those three little words? And one sentence, one simple sentence, as opposed to just saying thank you, appreciating something specific about somebody could be 5 words. And if we just take our time with it, take our time to be sincere, it really, really can mean a lot to other people. And as you said, it brings energy back to us, as you saw in me, as I continue to do that.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Tom's bringing something in too, which is a good reminder that regardless of how you do it, he's asking, aren't the elements still present in whichever method that you deliver gratitude, that using specificity, being authentic, won't that have an impact? So it doesn't matter how, but as long as, using those tips in terms of being specific, that it really doesn't, it could be a billboard, it could be a megaphone or it could be a whisper, but that the elements that bring in those chemicals, those feelings, and create that connection between humans, you've nailed.
100%. My cousin will inevitably find something or make something or send a card or a little gift, and that her action of going into her garage and taping it up and making it look pretty and taking it to FedEx is the same feeling I get when I say to tell people how much I treasure them. So 100%. Yes.
Love that. Yeah. See, Tom has his hand raised and I would love to hear from folks. Tom.
Well, thank you. A great topic, especially, of course, with the holiday tomorrow. Tara, you were talking about your husband, Mike, a couple of minutes ago, and how he likes to express gratitude, through gifts or doing things for you. I guess my initial reaction was thinking, having specificity and describing to someone the impact that will help, create the positive effect on the recipient. But there are other ways to deliver this where, it may not even be really that many words, but as long as the recipient can then understand why the gift is being given, and through that connection, then you still feel that positive reaction.
Yeah, you're really exploring, I think, something very fascinating. And this is where I think not our DNA, but our life's experiences are going to affect our reaction. Because someone may have had a lifetime of being with somebody who had this mindset of reciprocity, or they were trying to manipulate with positive affirmation or gifts. And so for those people, it may be very hard to hear because it's hard to believe and it's hard to trust, and it makes us question what do they want. So I think that you really touched on something pretty powerful, Tom, is as long as they're receiving it in the way that it's intended. And if we are expressing gratitude to get something that we're after, then we're not going to get that gift of serotonin.
That takes the authenticity out of the picture too. So I think that's a key ingredient.
Yeah. So after this daily huddle, I was going to ask Chase to borrow some money. So we'll see if it works.
Oh my gosh. Darn it. You did sound sincere up until that point.
Cece, what you got, darling?
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Thank you. Gratitude is every day. And how I show it is by making sure I'm present with people and examining my own heart. And something small, such people think is small, as saying thank you does make a difference. And, when people let you in traffic, when there's a lot of traffic, how do you say thank you to that person? Sometimes I'm just waving, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then others, when I give something to somebody that they really wanted, they seem to be very thankful. I just don't want to give gifts just to be giving gifts, just throwing it out, unless it really is something that's going to matter to that person. Because I was one of those ones who grew up with with someone giving me a gift after they had basically tortured the whole family. So they say, here's a gift. But I didn't want gifts. I wanted kindness. I wanted thoughtfulness. I wanted sincere love, which money can't buy or gift can't buy. So today I'm intentional about being thankful and saying thank you and being thankful from the inside out, not from the outside in. So today I am thankful every day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cece.
Sorrel, you got something on your mind this morning in the spirit
of I do have something on my mind that I want to explore in this conversation. As you and Kathryn were unfolding this, and as you were acknowledging me and thanking Chase and others, I started to get, what if the two words thank you were just magical? like, it's not like you could say thank you and then fake having said thank you. So even if my attitude may not be matching the words I'm saying in the moment I'm saying it, it's as if the words themselves evoke something in me and outside of me that's beyond my control, whether I mean it or not. So you mentioned that I have a tolerance for quote unquote something that's fake. And I'm thinking, well, where is that coming from? And I think it's coming from this space, the space that maybe when I say thank you and I don't quite mean it, I'm just practicing. And when I say thank you enough, then some other feeling other than what I'm feeling now, or something that another could perceive as being fake, just gets to be constructed where I am because I say thank you. So I'm looking at thank you as this miraculous, those two miraculous words that do magic. Regardless of how I'm feeling or how somebody else is feeling. When I say, Tara, thank you. Now, you may not know how I'm feeling inside, but you take it as a thank you. And when I say, Tara, thank you, I may have been angry with you in the moment before, but in some way, shape, or form, those two miraculous words just transform something inside of me just because I uttered the words. So that's what I'm taking away. Thank you is magic. Thank you is miraculous.
Wow. It's what you've created too. You know, I love that. What's coming up for me is that we do talk a lot about intention. And if you, and we do this when we start the daily huddle, I am the way I say I am. And if you deem those two words magical, wow, how that could transform your life, or your moments, or someone else's life, just by feeling that and saying that. I love it. It takes all the pressure off.
I think it does take the pressure off, Sorrel, and in listening to you, I think it is all in the way that we say it, right? I mean, think how many times during the day when someone says, same thing we say on the daily huddle, how are you? And you say, I'm great, I'm good, I'm fine, or I'm living the dream. But we're not really even answering the question. So I think it's all in the energy and the sincerity that you muster when you utter the words, thank you.
I don't know. I'm hearing something a little different from that, Tara, though. I'm hearing that maybe it doesn't. That because he has deemed it like these two words are magical, that regardless of how I say it, you know, even if I might be feeling something off in the moment, I'm going to deem these two words magical for me and the person that receives them. Maybe you said something different. That's what I heard, Sorrel.
It's kind of like what I said, and I'm just feeling it out and exploring that.
Yeah.
That the words themselves are not coming from the feeling I have. The words themselves are generating the feeling I have. So it's not chicken and the egg.
Okay.
It's like they kind of come up together. I say thank you, and all of a sudden I'm loving and I'm grateful. And like that.
Yeah.
And I'm meaning to, like, I'm not saying thank you so I can feel that way.
Right.
Like, these magical words have no other agenda than to perform their magic.
Right. I like what you did this, because it's like they come up together. So it's like they're not independent of each other. And it's not like I feel thank you, then I feel this way, or I feel this way, then I say thank you. It's like the act of saying them creates this thing, and I feel magical.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know. I just made that up.
But hey, you know what? Life is made up. So I love it. Make something out that counts. It works. I'm taking it. I love it.
I like it. I want to leave us with one last thought. And then I think it's time to close, and we're not going to be here tomorrow. So we'll miss everybody, and hopefully everybody will be sitting beside a loved one tomorrow. For me, the message today, and everybody will pull their own message, but for me, the message is, in addition to a gratitude practice, I think it's important to express our gratitude toward other people in any way that feels comfortable for us. And I can hear my daughter calling me. And I'll give a very quick example of that. I was having a rough day a few days ago, and I had to drive down the street to a neighbor that I think she feels like I never have time for. Her schedule's not quite like mine. And I drove down there and I handed her the vegan butter for the stuffing. And she said, "You look a little off." And I quickly told her what we were challenged with. And her attitude around it was so encouraging. It was very brief. I wasn't there 2 minutes. And I got home and I realized that she changed my energy. And I sent her a thank you note, a very quick thank you text. And I share this with you all to say that when we express sincere gratitude, no matter how short the words are, even as short as thank you, it builds bonds and deeper relationships. And that is the point of Wednesdays on the Daily Huddle. So with all my energy and all my love and all my heart, I want to give thanks to each and every one of you for being here and making a difference in our lives. In addition to giving, let's remember to love. If you feel love, find a way to express it no matter what it is and how you like to do it. Express love and take a note out of the Tom Montgomery book and make sure you take time to laugh, throw your head back and chuckle and take care of yourself. That means to stress less, get your sleep, and put more plants in your body and maybe even a little gravy tomorrow. And make sure that you're not sitting all day. Get out and move the body that you were gifted with. We are truly grateful for all of you, and we'll see you Friday on the Daily Huddle.
Monday. Actually, we're back on Monday.
Oh, sorry. Monday. Okay. See you all Monday.
All right. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Kathryn.
Bye,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Everybody.
All right. Thank you. And I really mean it.
Oh.
You're